to user mode. Transaction complete. There would be a fairly clear indicator for that. A pink-colored message appearing on the bottom of the page, reading, "Purchase has been processed." Additionally, the shopping cart is now empty. However, not because all items have been tossed out of it, but because they've been moved out into their permanent storage, namely the transactions database table. Finally, the line reading available credit line funds now displays the remaining funds on our credit line, namely $70.49, after having been reduced the amount due, which was $1,429.51, from the full $1,500 funds availability. Now, we may notice something odd in the transactions database table in regards to the recent in-cart items that have just been moved in, if we were to compare them via two specific table fields, as if they were still residing in the pending orders database table. One of those table fields is called Deal ID. It contains the current session ID, which, at the time of this transaction, has been ABCQG40N4GS5HFX5CR1A R301, while upon adding the first two in-cart items, before, the session ID was different. Specifically, it was UMW55EEA CDTIXOIYDXGTTVJK. The other table field is called Customer ID. At the time of this transaction, it has had the value of 10, which is the member ID for the currently logged-in member, namely user 20, while upon adding the first two in-cart items, before, the customer ID value was a null, meaning empty. As previously explained, for a customer ID value to be a null, the visitor it's assigned to needs to be on a guest status. On the other hand, only a registered user, meaning someone who signed up, then signed in, as a valid member of the PC Store webshop system, would have been able to have completed a transaction. Naturally, a signed-in user, say, the currently logged-in member, namely user 20, for example, would have their member ID set at the customer ID table field. Thus, upon reaching a transaction complete point, the application will make sure that all of the in-cart items to be moved from the pending orders database table into the transactions database table will be assigned the current, thus the same session ID value, as this is the session on which a transaction is to be completed, along with the current, thus the same customer ID value, as this is the member who is making a purchase, in order to make those two usable for a possibly filterable future review. Next, let's have all of our transactions, recent and current, listed for us. We can view all of our transactions ever, including the very last one, in order to verify that they have really been completed. We'll scroll back up to the top of the page. Since there is a member who is currently logged in, namely user 20, we'll have a history action link available. Once we click it, we'll switch to the currently logged in members purchase history page. Okay. Now that we've landed the currently logged in members purchase history page, we'll notice the upper left corner indicating who is still logged in. It is no other than our second friend, user 20. We can scroll downwards to get to the actual transactions. The purchase history listing for user 20 has the same fixed and dynamic data layout. First off, statistics, where card count reads 3 and card size reads 1.85 GB. The second portion, details, reflects related contents from the transactions database table according to the currently logged in members customer ID, which also is based upon their member ID, which this time is 10. Thus, we'll have the specifics of all items or products ever purchased only by user 20.